Hello everybody and welcome to the Scheduling Pro overview. Today I'm going to take you through some steps on how to get started with the freemium offer and some of the function and features that's available in that offer. So this is a main look at the dashboard, but before we get here there are a few steps that we need to take. When you land on the website you have these menus at the top. We want to hit pricing. What that does is it brings us down to show us the different features and a full feature comparison of the different solutions we have at Scheduling Pro. You may decide that you want to have scenario planning, order lock-in, changeover rules from the very get-go. Figure out which solution it is that you need, Essential, Core, Professional, Optimize, or the Enterprise version. Hit Start Free Trial, and that will carry that version forward for you, and where you'll land is on this page for you to create your account. Sign up with your name and details, enter your password, agree to the terms. When you hit Create Account, this is where you'll land. I've put just some dummy data in here for the purpose of this so I can highlight the cards working for you. But what we can see here is the total amount of orders, what's on time, what's at risk and what's late, the utilisation rates, the active work centres and the scheduled operations. On the schedule we can see why it's late. Started this order on Friday the 9th and it's still going on. This is just to show you the different orders we can have running across the Gantt and for how long for. Because we're in the freemium version, we are in the drag and drop scenario. If you take a version with more functionality, you'll have access to these different optimizers here. What these optimizers do is they take a copy of the live plan, pull it into a scenario so that you're not affecting what is live with the factory. We can then do things like drag and drop, we can lock the order and rerun the optimizers, we can add more orders, and we can play with the shift patterns. Again, run optimizers to get the sequence, see how that scenario looks. If that scenario is something that you want to take forward, we can then push it to live, and then we can look at it in different ways, by priority, by the family, by changeover, and just to highlight the colour of that order will change, so very easily you can see on the Gantt how it's being grouped together. Here in the planning workspace we can see the different orders. We can see what's pending, what's being scheduled, what's being locked. We can generate more orders. We can see a backlog of what's coming in, so eventually this one will drop into the backlog unless I manually intervene. We can look at the customer orders. Again, so order 25, quantity, the due date, obviously with it being the 22nd today is why it's late. And in the master data, this is where we can build out how the solution works. So at a very high level, what we have here is where the work centres are kept. So if I just go into here, hit edit and take a look, what we've got is the name of the work centre, its capacities, its cost per hour, an associated colour to it, what type of labour requirements it's got, and if I want it to be active in the schedule. We have the same for products, so we can manage all of our products in here. We can manage our customers in here, and we can manage the calendars in here as well. If we go down to all data, we get a few more options, which helps us configure the system. That's things with routing templates. So if we go down here, what are the operations for the routing, for the work centre? I haven't created any for this demo, but they are available. What are the changeover rules? Again, I haven't created any, but if we just take a look, we're looking at a family. So if it's from any family to a nut-free family, what we've got on this work centre is duration 30 minutes at a cost of 0. Yes, it requires cleaning. We can give it a name, hit save, test. We can see now we have that changeover rule in place. The system comes with very comprehensive training documentation part of the solution. So if we just hit docs here on the left hand side, what we can see is a breakdown of how to go through the system step by step in order to get this set up. So we have the welcome, We have some quick setup checklists, which you'll see on the main dashboard when you join. Then we go into our customers, and it'll give you a reason for why doing it. We hit next, tells you how to do it. Have this open on a separate window. So if we just do this, for instance, open a separate window, have that there, and we can work through these steps one by one. Help Center. So if there's any quick questions, frequently asked questions, we're updating this all the time. So please come in here, ask for help. If we can find it, if not, contact support. The email's at the bottom. We'll add your question into here so that everybody who uses the tool, if they ever have that question, know what to do. Team members, depending on what version you have, you can add team members. If you have the enterprise version, again, you need the more advanced plan. But what this does is it gives you the API key in order to integrate with your ERP. And then we have our settings, which is where we can manage the billing, the accounts, things like that, which I won't go into for my personal reasons. And finally, we can switch the color. So depending on how you like to view the tool, you can see just how that then reflects in the schedule as well. So thank you very much for joining this very high level overview of Scheduling Pro. I hope that it gives you some idea of what the solution can do, gives you an idea of how it looks and what it feels like to work with. And if there are any questions, please comment below or please email thomas@schedulingpro.app. I'd be more than happy to answer anything, jump on some demonstrations. And by all means, please sign up to the free version, have a play, see what you think, see if you can start to try and build out your factory in the tool. And if you need any help at all, just give us a call. Thank you for your time.